Hey everyone, so the much-awaited Spring 2015 season has arrived in the anime world, and I'm super stoked to say that my very first review of the season is for Kekkai Sensen, Episode 1. In short, I thought this was a really good episode to what I think could be a potentially awesome series. So I can't lie, I had really high expectations for this series considering that the creator of the original manga also brought us Trigun, which is one of my all-time favorite series, but I'm happy to say so far so good. This episode didn't disappoint. I'll say if you like the frantic action and somewhat absurd humor of Trigun and kind of mash it with the disturbed and divided city vibes that Durarara had, and also combined that with the whole alien or otherworldly creatures and humans living together idea that they pulled off in shows like Futurama, for example, or Cowboy Bebop, then this series could be for you. So the series takes place in an alternative modern-day New York City, now called Jerusalem's Lot. So before, a mysterious gate opened up and engulfed the city in this mysterious fog where these creatures from the netherworlds came out. But it appeared that the humans and these creatures that emerged from this rift, as I would call it, have been able to live in harmony. They've been living peacefully and have been cooperating in New York City or Jerusalem's Lot. And this creates a really interesting setting, actually, I think, where modern technology meets sci-fi and a world of crime and disorder, which all seems to be completely normal for the people who are living there. So our main protagonist is called Leonard Watch, but I'm just going to call him Leo because that's going to be a lot easier for me. And he's basically a photographer and a reporter who had arrived in the city just a few months ago. While he's eating his lunch or breakfast at a diner, his camera gets stolen by a monkey, and he chases after the monkey and finds himself in the middle of a robbery shootout where he is mistaken for a recruit of Libra, which is an underground vigilante group which seeks to maintain order in the city. And so Zap, a member of Libra, kind of takes him in, assuming that he's someone else completely, takes him to Libra's hideout where he meets Klaus and Chain. And after some discussion, they realize that Leo is definitely just a kid. He is not the guy that they are looking for. But after some discussion, we find that Leo is not just a normal kid. He's normal in every other aspect except for the fact that he's actually able to see when these gates to the other world open. So this works in their benefit because a gate suddenly opens, rips open the top of the building. So the group seeks to find the source of the rift and destroy it so that chaos just doesn't go rampant and destroy the city, essentially. So it seems that someone is actually able to create these rifts, very similar to the original one that engulfed the city. So his name is Fempt, as we discover, as he broadcasts this through the entire city on TV. He's super over the top and is actually able to watch the city from every single corner. As we find out, he has cameras everywhere. Essentially, he watches as the group is able to destroy the source of the rift. But despite this, he doesn't seem that deterred. He seems to want to open more of these rifts so that the balance between the creatures of the netherworld and humans kind of becomes undone. It seems like he wants to see the end of the human race. Now, I didn't go through every single detail of what happened in this episode because this episode had a lot of information, which for the most part was actually pretty easy to follow, but you kind of had to be paying close attention. It was an info dump, but in my opinion, it wasn't that overwhelming, and I think that future episodes won't be so information heavy, hopefully, because now we kind of got the setting and the story setup out of the way. Now, what I find interesting is the fact that the way the story was presented in this episode wasn't entirely linear. It began with a letter that Leo had sent to his sister about what was going on in the city. So there was kind of a switching back and forth in time. I found this format really effective, and it really made for a really cool perspective of the events, and it made a good narrative, and it reminded me a lot of Durarara, as I said before. And again, similar to Durarara, the world building in this episode was spectacular and so smart. Within minutes, even without the narrative, and just through visuals, you could understand the world that Leo was in. It's a big and zany world where these creatures and humans live together, where crime and conflict seem to be everyday occurrences not fazing the people of the city at all, to the point where it's mundane to them. And this is thanks not only through really smart narrative, but also the cinematography. I mean, just showing everyday scenes like busy streets, creatures and humans sitting together and having coffee, etc., etc. It was effective. The visuals were clean and the pilot was beautifully animated. Bones' production value always shows in their pilots, and I really hope that they keep up at least something similar to this quality throughout the series. In addition, the fight scenes were really cool and well choreographed. They were large in scale and in consequence, as buildings are basically demolished as all of this is going on. But no one really seemed to be fazed, and it didn't seem that out of place because this world was already set up as something really zany, where things like this kind of happen every day. They didn't get too much into the weapons that they use, but it seems like it involves the use of the weapon user's blood. And the blood is basically what makes up the weapon or makes up the attack, and I'm really interested to see what that's about because that wasn't really explained in this episode, but it seems pretty cool so far. In addition to some pretty solid voice acting so far, the music in this episode was excellent. I love it. I love jazz, and when it gets incorporated into anime, I mean, I can't ask for more. Cowboy Bebop did a really similar thing, so if you liked the Cowboy Bebop soundtrack, I think that you will enjoy the music in this show. They kind of incorporate like saxophone and trumpet, and I feel like it goes really well with the cool kind of gritty city vibes that they're going for with this series. Also, Bump of Chicken does the opening, which gets me so excited because I loved the Tales of the Abyss video game and the opening for that, and they did the opening for that, so it was really cool to hear from them again. This series is standing out to me a lot this season in terms of originality and in pacing. It was fast-paced, wacky, funny, but cleverly narrated, and it has potential to be one of the greatest shows of this season. This was an excellent pilot, but as most of you know, excellent pilots don't always make excellent anime. So I hope that this show keeps up the momentum because it has the potential to become a really great series. So after seeing the pilot, I think that I'm going to be sticking with this one, and I've decided that this is one of the series that I'll be reviewing this spring every single week. So what did you guys think of this episode, and what other shows should I be watching this spring? If you like what you saw, please like this video and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.